This film is about abuse from a male's point of view, a male's perspective. How abuse begins. How it began for me. I'm a poet, and this is one of the ways in which I express myself. For me, abuse began at 300 degrees, the cipher. I am called the bear not by accident but self-proclamation. Let me tell you a saga of a complete animal. I was born into a circle of pure animalistic savages, placed to create a harmonious function between the elements of this world and the next. Vexed with the sentient abilities meant to help the journey to the sanctum sanctorium, back to the beginning. The beginning for which we all start, hence the 360 degrees. Born out of the animalistic fiery lust of abandonment of citizens, father, he is a nomadic sage, only interested in improving his game to become wise, and sire, an heir that would be suitable for the cipher. Mother, she's a carefree witch, only at the time wanted a doll baby and someone to talk to. She wanted someone to love, not understanding her craft, nor her calling. And perhaps she was just a pawn that she played in the game. Perhaps she was just a pawn that she played in the game, that she had now, at the age of 42 years, begun to understand. She was 13 years young, and she had her living doll baby, the one that she didn't know how to turn off, put away, or place in a toy chest to play with another day. I was here. I was alive. Out of her belly I came. All right, I'm just going to have to do this. I am called Bear, not by accident but self-proclamation, and let me tell you a saga of a complete animal. I was born into a circle of pure animalistic savages, placed to create a harmonious function between the elements of this world and the next, vexed with the sentient abilities meant to help the journey to the sanctum sanctorium, back to the beginning to which we all start, hence the 360 degrees. Born out of the bowels of fiery lust and abandonment of senses, my father, he's a nomadic sage, only interested in improving his game to become wise, and to also sire an heir that would be suitable for his cipher. Mother, she's a carefree witch who only at the time wanted a doll baby and someone to talk to. She wanted someone to love, not understanding her craft nor her calling. Perhaps she was just the pawn that she played in the game that she at the age of 42 begun to understand. She was 13 years young, and she had her living doll baby, the one that she didn't know how to turn off, put away, or place on a toy chest to play with another day. I was here, alive, and I was just what she wanted. Just what she wished for. Something that wouldn't go away. I was something that she had control over. And out of her belly I came into a world of I got something to love, and it will love me no matter what. And the tribe decided that she wasn't ready for the sapphire sun that she made. And they sent the animal away to survive in the world or die, going from land to land, from hand to hand in the nomadic fashion of my fathers. There were some times that I wish that I could make it back to my beginning, to gracefully see my end. No, I'm a survivor of sorts. And what am I surviving? Why am I surviving? I have found rest. In this place, I was able to be who I was, not knowing who that was. Rest was at 914 Drum Avenue, Capitol Heights, Maryland. For about a year, I was shown what happiness really was. And then she came for me, the witch. She lured me away with the promise of food, and I played along knowing I was a fool, and I woke up out of my element, out of rest, and I was placed inside of a lonely nest, in an abode that was not suited for me. Nothing there was for me, and I went through the trials of a scribe without the knowledge of how to read or write, and I had to raise myself while she went into plight of drink and drugs, and not to mention the men that entered and exited the doors which made the hinges hot. I knew what was going on, believe it or not. Now back to the trial. The trial of fire was first. She threw the monkey, the small animal, into a closet and lit the match that burned the newspaper beneath my feet. And I managed like a monkey climbing to safety to safely climb to the top shelf. God, He didn't hear my prayer. He allowed me to stay. She was sorry. She wouldn't do that to the animal anymore, and I knew she was lying. She didn't do it. The boogeyman did it. That's what the boogeyman told me. My next trial was of water. Boiling hot is what the witch ordered. I mustered up. She ordered me to accompany the boiling water, and I knew that I did not want to see my beginning that way. I mustered up a response and sent her in a rage. I said no. She shook the answer off as if she was a dog shaking off a saturated coat of water. She grabbed me by the neck and babbled something, and then she began to fill the tub with cold water from the tap. Minutes later, she picked me up by the neck and threw me into the body of water. My head hit the soap dish. And the next thing I knew, I was gasping for air. And I opened my eyes to see the witch with her foot pushing against my neck. Soon her face came into view. And I remember I failed to put up a struggle. I remember closing my eyes and giving up. This was my chance to go back to the beginning. I heard a voice that was soft as thunder, so loud as thunder, and soft as a whisper, and it spoke to me. The light that came from around its body completely illuminated darkness, and I felt rest, pure rest. And the conversation is not placed in my conscious thought. And I do recollect the voice said, "You have to go back now." And I began to cry. No! No! Why? Why do I have to go? And as he answered, I felt the water on my skin. And I opened my eyes and I saw Mama. She pulled me from the water, crying that she would never do that again, and I believed her. And I knew that she could not kill the thing that I was so willing to give her, my soul. Standing for hours because she was mad about something that I did or didn't do, and I stand while she sleeps, and I watch TV, and tired, I sit on the floor while her eyes are closed, and then I lay down and fall asleep, and I can't survive off of sleep or the lack thereof. And I sleep in 2 or 3 minute increments, trying not to allow her to catch me sleeping to further punish me. And she caught me sleeping, but didn't say anything. Soon I found out why. She asked me to pull up a stool to the stove top. She turned on the stove. My mother held my right hand over the heating element, and it glowed bright orange. And it was hot as hellfire, and I cried out, but she would not let go. And I saw my skin bubble off my hand. My muscles in my hand began to tighten, and I'd never seen anything like this before. And I went crazy. I pulled and pulled my hand away from the heat, away from her hand, and I broke her grip, literally and figuratively. She leaves, then returns with rubbing alcohol and scissors. She opens the bottle and quickly poured its contents on my bubbling skin. Then taking the scissors, cutting the skin that would not conform to my baby skeleton, has still to this day Dawn the Diamond. She left me. She was the monster that drugs made her, that men told her that she was, that her own inner thoughts made her. She was still going for my soul that I could not let her have because I no longer owned it myself. 180 degrees is where I am. 180 on the other side. And I knew that my voice had to be heard. So I yelled out loudly, so loud that my scream had become silent. From then on, I screamed a silent scream. And still, no one hears me.